Have there been hurdles or bumps along the way for either of you?
Not really that much for me because I always knew that if something bad were to happen, it'd always end up okay because I knew that the Lord would always be there and help me through the process. And I just didn't really have any concerns about the whole thing. I knew it'd be alright.
I probably had one major hurdle, which would be my brother. When he dropped out of this, it was kind of hard for me to continue going because we always fought over why I was still going, and I managed to get over the hurdle there, and it's all thanks to Taylor and Dave because they stuck by my side and helped me guide me through all the troubling times during that. So I thank them.
Were there and have there been fears or anxieties that you've had to address or confront or overcome, would you say, in your own heart and your own spirit along the way?
I would have to say that it was hard for me. It took me a little while to finalize on what I was going to do, and with my mom not being Catholic and stuff, she had a hard time with me becoming Catholic, and that hurt me a lot when she was very resilient of me wanting to become part of this.
For me, it was really easy because my family was there for me and they just stuck by me and they really encouraged me and pushed me to go to church a lot and to attend the meetings with Dave and Dakota. And they were always there and just helped push me and help guide me through this.
At some point in the process, now these two people of questionable reputation are Austin and Jacob, who have been sponsors in the parish with the two catechumens. And I would like to ask you to talk a little bit about that journey for them. What do you think that journey of discovery and growth as disciple has been like for them? What do you see? What are you aware of, would you say?
I'm not quite sure where we should start off on this one. It's definitely a
I
large
agree.
list.
It's a very general question. We could probably go on for hours about.
But you don't want to,
Yeah. I believe strongly, I think a good way to represent what they've learned is how they view Jesus Christ as a person. We've interviewed him, we've asked him several lists of questions, we've had discussions Wednesday nights about how we view Christ, how we view our religion and our life, everything, and our future aspects of everything. And just hearing Dakota saying he wanted to become a catechumen because he felt like something was missing out of his life. He felt stronger when he came to church, and now he feels like Jesus is there for him. He's a friend. He's God's right-hand man.
I would agree with that very much, and I would like to jointly say that they've had a huge encounter with the Holy Spirit. They've learned to accept it in ways that not a whole lot of people can. They've learned to kind of grasp it. They've learned to hold it and show others that they can kind of be guided by it. They can show that they know what they're talking about. They show that God can act through them. They show that they know Jesus personally and intimately, and that it has affected their lives deeply.
Let me ask that same question about yourselves as sponsors. What has happened to you along the way? How have you been affected by this experience?
Well, to get started on this experience, I remember one of the first nights where I was asked to become one of the sponsors for the catechumens. We discussed how we see faith in everyday life, and besides seeing faith in these two, where I'm seeing them, this is their commitment. They chose to do this. They're not being drug along to church by their parents like some people have of the parish since they were born. That was one way that I've seen them grow. I'm growing myself, seeing all these changes, seeing around me, watching them become members of the parish is making me rethink and look at all my connections and ties to my religion and just become more comfortable in my faith. And I just feel like this experience has made me grow deeper into my faith and helped me better understand what it's about.
I would agree with all that completely, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'd been like tested or tried, or I felt like at any point in this given time that I'd been tempted more than usual. I've felt that there's been certain times when I felt more away from God, but then there's also been times that I felt much closer to God. And I feel like through this I've not only learned more about myself, but also about my faith. And although it's made me question a little bit more, I guess that's kind of a good thing, because it's shown me that I do care, and it's shown me that I do want to find the answers, that I do trust God, and that I know that He'll come back for me, and that I know that He loves me. Even though I've questioned, I know that I've learned, and I know that I've become much deeper and much more intimate with my faith, and that I love God so much more through all this.